Okay, now let us see the bidirectional DC motor control circuit where we can also stop the motor. Okay, in previous class we had only one switch which can rotate the motor in either clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Now in order to stop the motor we have introduced one more switch in pull-up configuration, and you can do this in pull-down configuration also, but I just want to make you people aware of what is pull-down and pull-up configuration. So I have introduced another switch that is in pull-up configuration. Okay, now accordingly we'll fill the truth table, and our aim is when both the switches are closed, my motor should stop. When both the switches are open, also my motor should stop. But when my switch 1, okay, this is switch 1, when my switch 1 is closed and switch 2 is open, my motor should rotate in clockwise direction. And when my switch 1 is open and switch 2 is closed, my motor should rotate in clockwise direction. Okay, now looking at the circuit, let us try to fill the truth table. Okay, let us first try to fill for switch 1 and which is connected to A0. Fine. Now when switch 1 is closed, okay, my signal at A0 will be high. Fine, I write H for high. So when my switch is open, switch 1 is open, my signal at A0 will be low. Again, I am writing close here. So at close condition, my signal at A0 should be high. Okay, H for high. And again, open condition, my switch will be closed. So this will be low. Open condition, when switch 1 is in open condition, A0 will be low. Right? Now let us see switch number 2. Okay, so when switch number 2 is closed, okay, when as I close this switch, all the voltage will flow towards the ground. That's why when I close this switch, okay, the signal at E1 will be low. You should be able to make out this difference. When the switch is open, when my switch 2 is open, now this 5 volts will reach to A1, so the signal at A1 will be high. I hope you can understand this. We have done this in our offline classes. Okay. Now when my signal, when my switch 2 is open, again my signal will be high, and when my switch is closed, okay, all the voltage will flow towards the ground, so my signal at A0 will be low. Right? So this is not mandatory that whenever my switch is open, the signal at the input side will be low. Okay, don't think in that way, because here see, switch 1 is open, switch 2 is also open. Okay, that is this condition when both the switches are open. When switch 1 is open, we are having low signal at A0. Okay. When switch 2 is also open, but we are having high signal at A0, at A1. So this is because the configuration that we have connected this switch. Fine. So I hope you should be able to understand this pull down and pull up configuration. Right. Now I just have to stop the motor in this condition, when close close open open condition. So that means I have to send low signal to pin number 9. Okay, this I can keep as high low, it doesn't matter. Okay, unless and until my signal at 9 is low, my motor is going to stop. Right? Now I have to connect control A. I have to, whenever I close switch 1, my motor should rotate in clockwise direction. So for that I need the output, so I send high signal to pin number 9, and I also know that in order to rotate the motor in clockwise direction, my IN pin should be high and IN2 should be low at L293D IC. So since IN1 is connected to pin number 11, and I have to set pin number 11 as high and pin number 10 as low. So this will rotate my motor in clockwise direction. Now in another condition, when my switch 1 is open and switch 2 is closed, I have to rotate the motor in counterclockwise direction. So for that I have to send low signal to pin number 11, high signal to pin number 10, and low and high signal to pin number 9 also. Right? So I write high here. I hope you understood this truth table. Now accordingly we'll write the Arduino programming. So see, we'll now write the Arduino program. Okay, so looking at the truth table, what we have done is we have another switch also. So I have declared that as input. Okay, there is 11, pin number 9, pin number 10 are output, so I have declared them as output. A0 and A1 are input pins, so I have declared them as input pin under void setup. Now I'll read both the pins A0 and A1, and I'll come to the first condition of my truth table when A is high and B is low. So now in truth table, if you see A0 is connected, I'm reading A0 and I'm storing the value in A. So this is actually okay. This by A0 now becomes A and A1 becomes B. Right? A1 becomes B. So that way, okay, I'll write the truth program when A is high and B is low. So here, when A is high and B is low, I have to send high signal to pin number 11, low signal to pin number 10, and low signal to pin number 9 in order to stop the motor. Right? So that is what I have written here. 11 high, 10 low, 9 low. Similarly, when A is low and B is high. Okay, when A is low and B is high, again I have to send the same signal, high to 11, low to 10, and 9 also low. So that is what I have written here. Now we come to the next condition. When switch 1 is closed and switch 2 is open, I have to rotate the motor in clockwise direction. So at this point, when I close the first switch and I open the second switch, my signal at A will be high and B will also be high. So when both the signal are high, I have to send high signal to pin number 11, low signal to pin number 10, and high signal to pin number 9, that is enable pin of L293D, in order to rotate the motor in clockwise direction. And the last condition, when we close switch 2 and open switch 1, okay, my signal at E0 and E1 will be low. So when A equals to low and B equals to high, okay, I send a low signal to pin number 11, high signal to pin number 10, and high signal to pin number 9 in order to rotate the motor in clockwise direction. Right? So let's come to the circuit and see. Okay, now since my both the switch are in open condition, okay, my motor is in stop condition. That is this as per the truth table. Okay, open, my motor is stop condition. Let us now close both the switches. I'm closing both the switch. Okay, closing both the switch. See, when both the switch are closed, again my motor should stop as per our aim and the truth table that we have made. Okay, my motor is in stop condition. Now if I want to rotate the motor in clockwise direction, I have to open switch 2 and close switch 1. So switch 1 is already closed. I have just opened the switch 2. Okay. Now you can see that motor is rotating in clockwise direction. Right? Now again, if I close this switch, my motor is stopped because closing. When both the switches are closed, my motor should stop. If I want to rotate the motor in counterclockwise direction, I have to open switch 1 and close switch 2. So switch 2 is already closed. I'll just open switch 1. Now my motor is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Right? Now if I open both the switches, my motor will stop. If I close both the switches, my motor will also stop. Okay, I want to rotate the motor in clockwise direction. So only switch 1 should be closed, switch 2 should open. My motor is rotating in clockwise direction. If I close switch 2 and open switch 1, my motor will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So this way bidirectional control of speed, bidirectional control of DC motor, not the speed. Okay? Bidirectional control of DC motor using L293D and Arduino can be done. I hope you understood till this point. Thank you for watching. In our next video, we'll see the speed control of the DC motor. Right? Thank you.